This episode of Keeping Tabs is brought to you by Doot Loot, your one-stop shop for Japanese and Russian foils. If you spend $100 or more, you'll earn free entry into our online cEDH league this month. So don't miss out and upgrade your deck's bling today.
Welcome to Critical EDH, coverage you can count on.
That's good. I like that. Welcome to the weekly Keeping Tabs episode.
Yeah, they banned some shit.
That's a good way to say it. Yeah. In 60 card, they banned some stuff, and we just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit. I don't think we need to go through the list at all, but specifically, they banned Entomb and Nadu in Legacy, which, you know, surprise, Nadu is a broken mistake of a card.
By this.
I know some legacy players were like a little surprised that the One Ring didn't also catch a ban.
Oh, is that a problem in Legacy?
Missed like the Forge combo.
Oh, sure.
Mystic Forge combo deck is like pretty good, and they were kind of talking about how that's definitely going to be like one of the better decks now.
Yep.
But I think the main thing is Entomb getting banned.
100%. I mean, we were talking about this right before the show started. Like, so I don't play Legacy, but you have a background in it.
Yeah.
And like, this was kind of the poster child deck for a really long time.
It was a top 3 deck in Legacy since its inception of a format, realistically. And people always thought that it would not get touched, right? Which I think is the reason why I wanted to talk about it, because I think Eric made a good point in our chat, being like, oh, those questionable ban things that they were like, hey, we're looking at these. Now that this card's gone out of Legacy, I am more inclined to think that they could actually get banned.
Speaking specifically about Study and Thoracle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, on the one hand, I want them to not be afraid to ban cards that are truly problems. At least I feel like that's more important in 60 card to a certain extent. But on the other hand, I don't want this to be kind of emblematic of a future world where they just ban cards that they deem to be problems either.
I agree. Yeah, and for all intents and purposes, like, they did try to do so many things before they banned Entomb. They tried to ban Frog, they banned Grizzlebrand, they banned just so many things out of the Reanimator deck. And eventually they just had to pull the duct tape off, right? Or the Band-Aid off.
The reason I brought this tweet up specifically was, one, I thought it was funny, but I've noticed this pattern where something gets banned and then people in cEDH go, hey, wait, that card's banned.
Card's really good. Yeah.
That card's really good.
Surprise, it's a 1-mana instant tutor for most things. I mean, especially with like how much cEDH like uses their graveyard, I am surprised that Entomb does not see more play.
Yeah, I'm playing it in a deck that we're going to talk about later.
That makes sense.
Are there other... There's not a lot of other decks I see running in Entomb.
Oops.
Oh, sure.
Does.
Yeah.
Oops does. And I mean, like, Master Keys was, but
I ran
play
like
that
a
deck right now.
Reanimator Rafine deck, and it was running that, but like, outside of unique strategies, I think there's the what's the Spider-Man deck that's blue-black?
Superior Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
Which
obviously that runs into yeah, you can just copy whatever you want.
Yep.
Which is strangely Jin Gitaxias sometimes. I don't know. The card's like powerful. I think there's no question about that. But in our format, is it really like what we're looking for? Probably not most of the time.
I think also just in 60 card, entombing an Atraxa and getting an Atraxa into play usually wins you the game, because you have so much redundancy in your deck that like you will find the pieces that you need. But we really don't have just a win con Reanimator target right now. Until hopefully unban Grizzlebrand. And if they do that, then I think the Entomb stocks and Reanimator stocks like will go through the roof.
But even when we had one, we had Dockside. I would say Entomb was not being played that highly.
That's interesting. I figured that it would be, but I was not playing in the format at the time.
To the top and play it.
Entomb and reanimate it.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
I think Anala also plays this card.
Oh, for sure it does.
Oh, yeah, and in blue sleeves, too.
Blue and black sleeves.
Yeah, blue and black
sleeves.
sleeves.
At the same time. Have you looked at the Anala line flowchart?
Yeah, it's a headache.
It's disgusting.
It's a headache.
Yeah, it's probably the fastest deck in the format. But
I don't think so.
what do you think's faster?
I still think Rock Size is the fastest deck in the format.
Rogside played correctly is probably the fastest.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think Rogsai, I think...
very closely followed by Jun Dargo.
Yeah, Jun Dargo and Oops are also insanely fast.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you don't have to deal with learning how to play Anala in those decks.
Yeah,
which is
and
another.
I mean, but you do get protection in Anala.
In theory.
In theory.
In theory. Yeah, you just have to find it from a different deck. Speaking of Jun Dargo, this guy has been brewing.
Well, actually, before we get to that, we have a couple.
We have a couple announcements. Yeah. So our league is partnered with the Royal Rumble this month. So if you top the leaderboard, you get entry into the Royal Rumble, which is in Providence, about an hour outside of Boston.
Yep.
I'm not super familiar with the East Coast, so I was like looking at flights into Providence, and I was like, it's a little too much. And then we started looking at flights into Boston, and I was like, maybe.
It's so different than here, because like Colorado, it's like, okay, you fly into Denver, and then you have a 3-hour drive to Keystone.
Yeah.
Like Boston, you fly into Boston, you have a 2-hour drive to New York or whatever.
Right,
like
right,
everything's
right.
so close.
Yeah.
Yeah, once I saw that was an option for $120 or $50 or whatever it was, like
it's definitely
tempting.
a possibility. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they're trying to get it to be a diamond this year. I think they were pretty close last year, or were a diamond last year.
This was a big event last year.
This was a huge event last year. I'm super stoked for the event. I think this is gonna be like the next big event after Frenzy. Because I have not heard anything in December. Have you?
I have not. We're running some stuff locally in December here.
For sure.
Yeah, as far as larger events that people want to travel to, no.
Usually December is a pretty slow, quiet
like
month
local,
for us.
Local focused month.
Yeah,
Pretty much people want to stay home and.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. We're on the page now. We're partnering with the fantastic people over at the Crit.
Hey, that's us.
That's cool. King's Court approved. Wow.
Nice.
So 364 player cap, $110 entry. All the prize details are on the page. They're really tiny, so we're not going to read them out. But
they also are planning for it to be a 20K instead of a 12K now. So
yeah, and it's kind of sick. I mean, it's like in the fine print of the photo or the ad for it, but they're doing cash prizing for the top 40, which I think is kind of crazy.
it is a lot.
And you get your entry fee back plus like $30 from 40th to 16th or whatever it is. Like it's pretty good.
I think Fishbowl did it with Fishbowl 5 where people got their money back. Maybe they made like a little bit on top. I just remember Tyler telling me he made some money on Fishbowl and he didn't top 16 it in Fishbowl 5. Which, you know, I think that that's like an interesting way to do it. I still think that a tournament that's a diamond size should be a top 40 cut, in my opinion, or a top something else other than 16 cut, whatever that is.
I think it should be. Like the bubble at Fishbowl was like kind of insane, I think.
Yeah. I think realistically what happened to Ian at Pittsburgh was my like turning point where he had a 50% win rate and did not make top cut, and you're like, that's
kind of
the argument for top 16 at like 300 players is a reasonable one because you still have like timing restrictions on the event and stuff. But top 16 at 500 plus is, fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not acceptable.
Yep.
Right, you need to be cutting the top 40 or something like that.
Realistically, I think right when Diamond happens, I think that top 40 makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, I mean, that's growing pains in our format. I am sure that's going to be a change that will be ironed out eventually.
I think there's a non-zero chance Houston is another 500-person tournament, and then I think we probably see another like couple of them next year, which is insane. It's super exciting. But
right. Next tab we have is Mana Vault Proxies.
Yeah, so we are associated with Mana Vault Proxies. I use some of their proxies in my decks right now. They Notorious bailed me out playing Gwenum at Fishbowl, so it's a big shout out to them. And then our affiliate link is Crit at checkout.
Yeah, use the code CRIT at checkout, and we'll have a link in the description.
Yeah, but I think one thing that's really cool about Mana Vault Proxies is like they have just like base decks set up. So like, hey, I want to play the stock Blue Farm list. You can just like kind of click it, and it'll ship you out a stock Blue Farm list.
Dude, the Hall of Champions right here.
The Hall of Champions also really cool.
Yep.
So I think last time I looked, I think it was just Zach Adler and Sylvie, but it looks like there's a few more people in here now.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can buy the whole bundle. You get
sick.
the top 4 bundle.
Dio. Yeah.
Oh, it's everyone from Fishbowl.
Hey, you save $10 by buying all 4.
So I know that he was doing it with anyone that has won a big tournament.
Yep.
So I'm not sure exactly what the cutoff is for that, but I do think that's really cool. You know.
Yeah.
It's also quick. It's easy. Just get your cards.
I mean, there's a couple more things, right? It's all USA made.
Yep.
And then veteran owned, and it's just a single guy running it. He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
And he's a player in cEDH. Like he's invested in our format and in our community. So
He's
I think
also
it's a good way to support.
I don't know if it's on the website yet, but he's testing to do the metal posters with it too.
Yeah.
Which the winner of the league for this month is getting a metal poster shipped out to them for their
We need to
vendor, which is
update our
so
league
sick.
stuff.
Yeah. Dude, so much stuff.
We have a laundry list of things that need to go. And this is a reminder too that for the league it is top deck silver points.
Yeah.
So please do compete for that.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Wanted to say congrats to Jason for we're running a local league here. This is MTG Basics and Level 7. Just want to say congrats to him for winning the first event.
Dude, he had a turn 1 win with Rogsai.
Dude, I got to go to Taco Bell with him because both of our games ended in 10 minutes. And we're like, all right, I'm out.
Dude, it's crazy. He did send us a message in our group chat being like, guys, I think Rogsai is actually the best deck in the format.
Yep.
Yeah, you give a good player one of the fastest decks in the format, yeah, we're going to get cooked.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening. I lost to it the week before, and everyone lost to it this week. And yeah, I mean, it is a deck that, in this non-respective meta, or disrespective meta, I guess, Rogsai is really good. Surprise!
Dude, I mean, it's like, I feel like as someone newer to the format, this is the cycle though, right? You get dunked on by a Rogsai for a month or two, and you're like, okay, I have to be at least like
eat your veggies.
responsible.
Yeah, eat your veggies, dude. Yeah, you gotta eat your veggies, because if not, it's gonna win. And all of you turbo think you're actually turbo until you see that deck, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Dude, when I first got into the format, this was a while ago now, but Rebel came out with that, like, the Rogsai standard window theory video.
Yeah.
Which is, if you haven't watched it, is really, really good.
It is very good.
But it talks about...
Also, just shout out Rebels anything.
100%. Yeah. Her Twitter is also very funny and, like, very interesting to read. But there's a reason that is the standard deck for, like, it's going to jam down your throat, and that's...
Yeah, and it's resilient, and it doesn't care, and it's just going to keep jamming wins, and it's going to do them faster than you think you have, like, a chance for. Like, legitimately, like, it is terrifying.
It is the turbo deck of turbo decks.
Yep.
It's funny, he and I were watching some games last night in the league, and I think there was like a triple farm. I think it was Jordan's game. It was like a triple farm game, and Jason's messaging me. He's like, every time I watch someone else play farm, it calls back to me like the green guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, people just can't play it like I do. And I'm like, I totally agree with him. You know, he's on another level when it comes to piloting these decks. But he's kind of locked in for playing Rogsai until he wins a greater than 30 player tournament, I think.
Okay.
Is what his deal was. So.
That goalpost has moved quite a few times from what I understand.
Interesting.
Because it was just Dexter, I think, being like, hey, just play one, dude. Play it once, bro. And then I think he did really well with it, and he's like, God damn it. Yeah, this deck is so good. And it really is. Like, if you haven't played Rogsai, it teaches you...
Watch any video that Doot posts. Like anything where Doot's on a YouTube channel for gameplay or whatever, just watch it. And I know that Wizards and Warlocks were saying that like they had trouble getting gameplay footage that amounted to like a 30-minute video. They did 3 games in like 30 minutes.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens when you play Atali. Anyway. You think Tali's fast? Nope.
No, dude.
Yeah, and what is the Tali going to do to stop Rogsai?
Yeah, dude, nothing. It's going to be a target. That's what it is, dude.
They might as well be a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like, go, buddy.
You're doing
they hope they whip so they can hit one of their 12 tutors that are in the deck, dude. Like, That deck is terrifying. But I mean, shout out to Jason. Like,
Yep.
But they
surprise, he's just been absolutely cooking people on it.
Well, it was funny. He
ahead.
just as a last note in that game I was playing. So it was me, Zach Adler, Zach is weird. Was
Other
the other?
Zach.
Yeah, other Zach, and I think he top 16'd our league last month.
Yeah,
His name's Dom or Pack Paladin.
Yep, that's right.
Oh yeah.
So I played a couple games with them last night. They were super fun. And then like, shout out to Jason for both myself and for other Zach. He was in our DMs before the game was over with like screenshotted timestamps.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Here's what we need to review and when we're going to review it. And like,
Dope.
here's what you could have done. And like, he's just such a great teacher and like member of the format. Like we're
Yeah.
really lucky to have him. So
It does make you feel so bad when you punt and Jason's just over your shoulder, just being like,
yep, every time.
like you didn't do that. Like it happened to me last week when I just punted on a food chain, right?
Yep.
And Jason's like, "You're an idiot," and I said, "Yeah, I know." Yes, I know.
It's so funny. Yeah. Speaking of Jason's influence, so he messaged me. This was before Fishbowl. He was like, "Bro, I think I might have accidentally just found the most insane deck in the format."
Yeah.
We've been
And
talking about this deck for a while.
Yeah.
And by a while, I mean since Fishbowl.
It was, well, he had it for LobbyCon at Fishbowl.
Yes.
Yep.
And like we were kind of talking about it before, being like, there's this dark cloud that we see coming.
Well, I think it stems from like I was playing Rakdos Dargo and I was talking to Jason a bit, and I was like, dude, I really don't think white is like offering a whole lot.
Yeah.
Like the Rakdos Dargo is in some ways more consistent because you just have more black, right? But the green
Yeah.
actually adds something here.
Well, I think what you're getting from white playing Timid Dargo is the availability of playing in the mid-range and having a decent mid-range plan and a way to open windows for yourself.
Sure, but it doesn't.
And right
it doesn't
now
make you
in
win
this meta,
faster.
this meta, I don't think you're getting anything from it right now.
I don't think you do. And so like where this list came from, this is my version of it. And we were talking after keeping tabs last week of like, basically I got Jund brainworms from these two after last week.
Like, dude, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. And so I started actually putting it together. And shout out to a few people, but Mikey No Breaks, or I think it's Kel the Alchemist is his name in our Discord.
Yeah.
He's been playing Jund Dargo for a while. It's like one of the few people post bans playing him. And so I had sent him my first rendition of the list. He's like, bro, you're thinking about this too much like Mardu. And kind of gave me some recommendations for how to tweak the list. And so like, I would not necessarily encourage people to do it this way because I'm on literally zero interaction. Like there's not the only interaction I have is claim the firstborn, which is mostly to give Selvala haste.
You're not on like SWAT?
Nope. Maybe on redirect lightning. Maybe on pyro. Maybe like you could do all these things.
You want to highlight some of the green cards?
Yeah.
Like I think people are familiar at this point with like the black and red cards that Dargo plus black runs. Like, do you want to talk about some of the green cards?
For sure.
With the creatures, obviously.
Yeah, I mean the access to just all your 1-drop dorks is insane. Like you get such an added level of consistency in the deck, and it can push on turn 2 at like a disturbingly consistent level. Because of that stability you get from the dorks.
The dorks are something that Sylvie talked about in her multiple interviews now at this point, where she said like I need to cast Dargo, I need to do Dargo things. But the cool thing about dorks is that they really represent 3 mana in green versus kind of like 2 in red or white.
They're like a Bank's Dark Ritual for Dargo.
Yeah, well, and like cards like Gilded Goose, which get strictly better with Cabbage Merchant, but Gilded Goose is a 5-mana Dargo.
Yeah.
Because you make the mana by tapping the food, then you eat the food and the goose, and that's 5 Dargo.
Dargo
mana.
sees the food go as a sacrifice.
Yep.
That's wild.
But then now you can
That's
just
really
eat the
good.
food, and Cabbage Man will continue to give you food. So if you like blow your load on turn 2, but don't eat the goose, you can go again on turn 2.
Yeah.
Tinderwall in this deck is disgusting.
Lumberjack.
Again, Lumberjack, insane. I was talking to these guys earlier, right before we started it. If I'm thinking about running Great Henge, because Great Henge, Tinderwall, and Soul Cauldron is infinite red mana with Dargo, and you draw your whole deck. And so you also get to like watch people's face when you cast a Great Henge.
Yeah, which is just so good. I love casting cards where people are like, "What the fuck is that?
Why is that here?
The last thing I want to say about dorks is that Austin was sharing some sentiment about like TNT and even Atraxa where the dorks weren't really that good.
Yeah.
And you were like considering getting rid of them.
Oh no, I did get rid of them.
Sure. I mean, just like when you brought this up.
For
right?
sure.
Like you were talking about getting rid of them, whether you did or not. It's not material to what I'm about to say. But I think that this deck is a good example of the way that dorks should be used.
Right,
and
right.
like what makes them powerful.
Yeah.
Where like Kinnan has a way to make dorks powerful.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
But like I think that a 1-mana dork that taps for 1 in our current situation, like
It's not good enough.
Not good enough.
But if it is fuel for something else, or if it's like
Used in another way.
used in another way, or anything along those lines that like you can gain a lot more benefit out of them, then I do think that they're like worth looking at. I have since like gone back a little bit and put I think 2 dorks in my Atrax list, but I
with
do still
consistency and stuff, but like
Yeah.
the whole like running I'm running 5 dorks thing and like a standard deck is not.
I just don't think it's worth it right now.
Yeah.
Unless like obviously this
Yeah.
is they're insane in Dargo, right?
Well, and that's the thing, like, that is just really interesting about the deck. Its setups are really easy, because if you drop, like, 2 dorks on turn 1 and maybe a rock, like, one of the things that's a superpower about green for this list is, like, in Mardu Dargo specifically, we talk a lot about mass draw effects. So that's your Citadel, your Pier, your Naz, and your Necro. You get way more of those in green.
Yeah.
Because you get Greater Good, you get Life's Legacy, you get Self-Ala, which draws you cards on loops. Rakdos is easier to run in this deck, which just gives you everyone else's cards.
There's a lot more enablers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
well,
like,
and payoffs, I guess,
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
It's both.
Another card that's in the creature spot is Spider-Man Manifestation. Which is just bananas in the deck. Like, it's so good. It is 2 mana, essentially Burgie or Relic. It's a little bit slower because it doesn't have haste.
Wait, there's a card I'm thinking about that
But I think that Spider Manifestation, just like giving you another Burgie or Relic, is like that you can also find off a creature tutor if you're deciding to run those. Like, I think that there's just a lot more like redundancy in what the Dargo plan is in green.
I totally agree. And like Spider-Punk is like kind of a punt card, but also Spider-Punk giving Spider Manifestation haste is like pretty strong in this.
I also think that Spider-Punk, like the downside of that card is like, oh, what if someone wins over top of me? No one's winning over top of you on turn 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, unless they found a turn 1 Smothering Tithe, and you're losing that game most of the time anyways. Right? Like,
It's over.
yeah, but in reality, it's like if you put a Spider-Punk on turn 1 and then win turn 2, like no one is...
And worst
doing
case, you eat it with
anything
Dargo
about
on turn 2. Like if you can't push or something goes
Yeah,
weird,
exactly.
like you're not screwing the table.
I ran a card in the Gruul Dargo a little while back. I was playing Gruul Dargo when right before Dockside got banned, and then continued to play it a little bit after. Had the deck as like a kind of a lobbycon like fun deck. It was Kodama Dargo, but this card was a overperformer for me.
I'm interested. I also saw Warren Soul Trader, which
Oh yeah.
it's great.
This card, Outcaster Trailblazer.
Oh, interesting.
2 and a
I can't
green,
read this.
human druid. When this creature enters, add 1 mana of any color. When another creature you control with power 4 or greater enters, draw a card.
Oh, that's
that's really
interesting.
Yeah.
That seems really good.
And it's a 4/2. And it has plot, so you can plot it and then like cast it as a sorcery later. I never
interesting.
did anything. But yeah, it was kind of a weird like outlet, but also like it had
Yeah.
some mana fixing as well.
Well, I mean, even yesterday or like last week when we were talking about it, I was like, does this want like Guardian Project? Like,
Yeah.
like I was like, there's some weird things that you can do with this deck.
If you look at like the list that I was talking about just now, it ran Guardian Project, it ran Garruk's Uprising.
Yep.
Yeah, stuff like
Beanstalk,
that.
Great
Like,
Henge, it ran
Beanstalk.
Yep.
Oh,
like-
Beanstalk is so gas.
Like, and so I think that there's just a lot of room for this list to grow and to test, which I'm super excited to watch you kind of take that journey with this deck.
Dude, it's really it's fun because like like I've learned a little bit of the history of this list from the last week or so. Like it's CNNR, but I'm guessing that's Connor. Connor was like the dude who played this pre-bans.
Okay.
And then like people just abandoned Jund Dargo for the most part.
Yeah, well, because it was, I mean, people abandoned Jund in general because of Dockside gone.
And I don't think you need to. Like, you still get everything that makes Dargo good, and you get more speed than you can get in any of the other Dargo decks. And you don't have the mid-range plan that Mardu gives you, but you definitely still have the push again plan. Like, you have so many options to just keep going.
And I think one of the notes that I really liked was when we were talking about how Mardu's like offer draw plan is just to jam and be like, if I get stopped, then offer a draw. And like that's kind of this plan too. Is like, if someone stops me, like I'm just gonna be like, don't, and we can just go get a draw. Like, don't use the interaction here, and it's fine, right?
I think
which I think is interesting.
Sylvie's turn 2 win in top 16 was almost an entirely Rakdos focused win.
Yeah, it was.
Right? So this deck can obviously do that too.
Sorry, she had an Esper turn 1.
Okay.
I think.
Still, right? It was a turn 2 peer, right? It was like the primary thing.
Which I think Esper is the one card that you're missing from Mardu.
Yeah, but you gain some other like unique options.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, Pattern of Rebirth is like, a lot of people have cut this card in Jund Dargo. Which is insane to me. Because it just puts Razaketh into play. You sacrifice some stupid 1-drop that is on your field, and then the game's over.
Yeah. Then the game's over.
Like there's nothing you can do at that point, really. Like short of bouncing Razaketh, which like sure, but no one's running bounce spells or removal right now anyway. So like,
Are you running any of the artifact lands?
I'm not. I'm thinking about the artifact lands, and I'm also thinking about Life Death a lot.
Yeah.
I think Life Death is so good. Life Death gives you, it helps you with like Razaketh plan early, but like late game, it gives you so much fodder and fuel if you need it.
So Life
like
Death
if things have gone really bad.
For 1 green is sorcery, all lands you control become 1/1s until end of turn, there's no lands. Death says return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, you lose life equal to its mana value. So it's a slightly upgraded reanimate, but you have to pay like 1 essentially, with obviously the option to have some Dargo fodder and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean just being able to turn all your lands into dorks for a turn is like, if you know that you're not getting another turn, you might as well send it and just be like, I'm going for it, It's
something that I really like about this deck, and that I would encourage people who either are interested in Dargo lists or who like want to branch off from Mardu Dargo, is like it gives you no option. You have one game plan, and it is to win the game. You don't get to sit and draw cards. You don't get to have silences to protect yourself. You get to say, it's turn 2. I'm
stop
going
me
to
or not.
stop me or
not.
You don't.
But you're like half a turn to a turn faster than Mardu, right?
I think it's a full turn.
Yeah.
Legitimately, I think it's a full
I'm
turn.
saying at worst, it's like half a turn. Like
it's
for sure.
You're setting up, and then you have everything you need. You just need to untap. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to draw any more cards. You don't need to play any more spells. You just need to untap to get there. That's what I mean by like half a turn. But like at worst, I think it's that. At best, it's probably a turn or more faster.
I sent you guys a screenshot of it was a first 7 mulligan from Goldfishing that if I was on Broodlord, which I think maybe I'm supposed to be, I know Jason definitely thinks I'm supposed to be. Turn 1 win, first 7, just done. And I think that this deck has a lot more of those.
Birthing Pod was in that screenshot, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Pod just like a little bit?
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at the Mardu Dargo lists, like Pyre of Heroes is now considered kind of like a staple card, which is basically like Birthing Pod at home, and it's turn Tymna into Technomancer. But when I talk about this deck, it's like Technomancer is almost too slow. Like I'm thinking about cutting it, which is crazy.
Yeah, you're like, my main win line in Mardu. I'm like, not good enough now.
It's not good enough. Like, why do that when I can just shove an 8/8 in the graveyard for some reason, or just like vomit him out? But anyway, like Birthing Pod is, some people run Ikra over Rayhan, but like Rayhan has some unique edge cases that I think make her a lot stronger in the deck, which is like, if you're doing Soul Cauldron things, you have 2 creatures with 1/1 counters because you all have Rayhan, and then whatever you put a counter on. which like
makes
maybe
sense.
matters sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Again, if like things have gone bad.
Yep. You can pod Rayhan into Technomancer, or I guess I'm trying to think of what other 4-drop. I'm not on Yawgmoth anymore, so it's really just
You're on
Technomancer.
Deadpool.
I am on Deadpool.
So that's a 4-drop.
Yeah.
Yep. And then obviously pod into Razaketh. If you're on Broodlord as well, you can pod into to that. But like the Razaketh lines in this deck are just really clean because Dargo is the battery that lets you keep chaining those together.
Is there any, and I don't know this for sure, is there any like actual pod line that you'd want to do? Like obviously that's introducing some like not synergistic cards, but like is there a pod Rayhan into something, into untapping pod, into tapping and potting it into like a Zealous Conscripts or something like that?
That's interesting. There very well might be, and I would, if there are people who know of a pod line in Jund that would work here, I would love to hear about it in the comments.
Yeah, I just don't know. The only reason why I'm like thinking about that is because I was testing around with like a Tasigur deck.
Yeah.
And Tasigur,
Oh,
like
sure.
the same idea of
Yeah.
like pod Tasigur into insane shit.
Yep.
But also pod so many things into a
Yep.
pod line does get you there. And so I don't know if it's like necessary or if it like slows down your plan enough, but like it might be something to like look into.
For sure, and I mean even like you can find a few interesting things. Like you can pod one of your 1-drops into Spider Manifestation if you need like a part of a Bergie relic line. You could pyre. I think I have maybe 1 or 2 2-drops. You could go grab like. I guess one card worth talking about is Warren Soul Trader. I don't have a life payoff with it, so like I eventually would drain myself. But I think there's a few things that are good about it. One, if you're like a mana short but need a treasure, sack one of your dorks to it, and then you have more Dargo mana to go. Rakdos is really strong in Jund Dargo in particular, I think. One, I'm on Demonic Council.
I loved our conversation about Rakdos. I was like, hey, that's kind of like a win con that like lets you to exile everyone else's library. You're like, oh, it does say that, doesn't it?
Have you thought about, if you're on like Warren Soul Trader, you already have like the sack outlet and the mana outlet with Warren. Like, have you thought about putting like a Sephiroth or a Blood Artist
I definitely
into the
have.
deck?
I think it could be really strong. Like Sephiroth feels like it's probably really good.
Because like that gives you another 1-card win con with Nature's Rhythm, even with less mana.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Right, because you can Nature's Rhythm into your Warren Soul Trader, then use that to tap down.
Yep.
Is also running like Stridehanger or Automaton maybe just enough as well?
Yeah, and just poop out the artifacts and call it a
Yeah,
day.
possibly.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then your Dargo's free for forever.
Well, no. With this other thing, it just wins you
No,
the game.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
saying as far as like an engine Soul Trader plus Stridehanger,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you have Dargo as well. Like you can cast and
Yep.
sack Dargo for whatever.
See, this is what I'm interested in. Is like there's so many things that can just like get you there in this deck. That like the journey of going from this list to the list in 2 months from now is going to be like
it's-
insane. Yeah.
It's already
nuts.
in a really good spot. As
Yeah,
well. Like,
exactly.
it's-
But
it's
like,
already
there's just
strong.
so many ideas that we can just throw at the wall and be like, "Is this good? I don't know."
Well, and there's nothing agreed upon. Like when I ask the other people in Jund Dargo lists, like we're 15 to 20 cards off. Like all
Yeah.
of us are, because
Yeah.
people still have like. There's people running, which I actually think are gas. The 1-drops from Edge of Eternities that tap another artifact or create. It's basically a mini Relic of Legends. You tap it.
The Gene Pollinator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are like, there's a lot of space to explore here. Like you could run Dosen in this list. You could run just a bunch of crazy shit.
You
Yeah.
could probably run a mid-range list where you like use Dargo to station stuff. and also like
Wait, dude, hold on. Where's Eric? We need a Lands Dargo deck in here, dude.
Also, what is the what is like the warp mechanic? Like
Oh,
Warping is nuts.
there might be
yeah.
some, because I know there's a couple green cards that have warp that are like decent.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's that green enchantment that warps for like 2.
I know the only like good warp cards that I like know off the top of my head are the white and the blue one.
Hold on.
Oh, Star
The
Force.
the vocalist and like the there's one that
warp.
warps for a basic
Exalted Sunborn,
planes.
I think is that one.
Yeah, basic planes are an Esper Sentinel essentially.
There's got to be a decent green.
No, it's the green enchant. I can't remember if it does something relevant or not.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think there's just so much that this deck can do. I think it's really cool. I think it's a really cool innovation to like what is
This is
considered the best thing.
This is the land one where it's a 5 mana ETB, make a 2/2 colorless robot artifact. But it warps for 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's interesting. There's there's a lot of ways you could take this list. I want to try like kind of all of them. There's not a primer for it really. Like Kel kind of has one, but it's pretty out of date. So like I'm gonna sit down and write a primer this weekend.
Do you have? Is this a food chain deck?
We were talking about that last week. I don't know. Maybe like you could make.
Like it makes an obscene amount of creature mana.
The only problem is
just don't
it's
know
not
what
a sacrifice, right? Because it's an exile, so
It
Dargo
is an
doesn't
exile. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you're exiling Dargo for 8 of whatever mana you want. And
Yeah.
strange enough, there's an 8 mana thing in the
see it. For sure.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's good enough.
Yeah.
It probably is.
You're on
I mean, if there's,
you're
like,
on
a way
black,
to
so you
do
can
it.
tinker right?
Yeah.
Sorry. What?
You're in black, so you can just tinker
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And last All-Star card we haven't talked about yet, which like anyone who plays green consistently already knows, is like Shifting Woodlands, and this is
It's
insane.
so dumb. Shifting Woodlands is, I mean, like we were talking to Jason about just green, like the only cards that he like actually is like, oh, I wish I had it, is Woodlands, and I think that's it.
You know, there's only
Noxious
one,
Revival?
There's only one S in Shifting Woodland.
Oh,
really?
yeah, it is a single. That's right.
Yeah.
Just like there's only, it's daylight saving time, not daylight savings time.
Oh yeah.
The more you
But
know.
yeah, I like legitimately like Shifting Woodland is
Oh, it's crazy.
it's an insane card, especially in a deck like this that you can like fill your graveyard so easily
oh yeah.
that like it's always
I
on.
mean, you're on like altar, you know.
Yep.
and
I'm
stuff.
on
And you have Dargo
Altar,
that can just like,
Stitchers.
if you need Delirium, you just like Dargo half your permanents. And you're just like, all right,
throw 'em
sick,
in there.
dude. Here's my breach that's uncounterable now.
Yogswill's a new addition too. Like, I don't want to talk you guys' ear off about it for too long, but like, I'm really excited about this deck in a way that like I was close to with Mardu Dargo, but I think there's just a lot of opportunity here and a lot of cool shit.
White is also like strangely, in some ways, anti-synergistic with the Dargo plan.
Yeah,
Like-
White gives you your backup plan.
It gives you
Like-
a backup plan, which is fine. And there's like complete
Yeah.
valid merit to that. But like outside of like Lotho and Taru, which generate treasures, and like Tithe, obviously, but like Tithe is a little slow. White is like, okay, I can silence and then perform my combo, fine. But in this, the green is like, no, I'm killing you faster. I'm drawing more cards. I'm like, oh well.
Who would have thought that green is added turbo into?
This is what we need.
Yeah,
this is what we
exactly.
need to make green
Yeah.
viable.
Dude, I mean,
So okay, I guess on the other end of it, like, are you missing? So you've played this deck how many times? Probably a handful, like 10-ish?
5 or 6.
Five
yeah.
or 6. Okay. Is there anything that's like in the white pot, like colored cards that you're missing?
Yeah, Esper and Taru.
Esper, Tatar, and Lotho.
In Lotho. Basically,
Okay.
the treasure generators are what I
Okay.
miss the most.
That makes
like,
sense.
And this could totally be a me problem. I usually got dunked on the second I try to put like a GA or something on the stack in Mardu Dargo.
Yeah.
Because if the game's far enough along for that, you're getting bored on top.
I've seen you get silenced so many times.
Yep.
from me.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's anything that I enjoy more than someone like a Tim Dargo trying to jam, and I'm like, all right, here's Orange Chant, and there's like, pass. I can't win.
Yeah.
I just can't fucking do anything now.
This
dude.
deck
Like,
also folds to that.
Yeah,
but
true.
because- But because you're moving faster, you're moving.
then
a
I would need the mana to be able to do
Not
it.
only do
right?
you need the mana, but you need the card. It's less likely that
Yep.
you would
Yeah,
have it. All
for
you know,
sure.
all that stuff.
And like even then, like you still have crop rot, E-zone, necro, create a cleanup trigger, silence falls off. Like you have ways to get around
you have ways
it
to get out of it.
that
Yeah,
are a little bit easier to access.
for sure.
But and also like I got silenced 3 times playing with Adler yesterday. And it's like one was because I hit a Flusterstorm off Ragavan. So
Okay.
I Flusterstormed the first silence.
That's kind of gas.
And then he had Revel for backup.
Okay.
But
I think you might need to be on Dryad Arbor.
I was thinking about it.
Are you on Green Suns yet?
Dude, you crop rot Dryad Arbor?
Eat
like
it
you-
with Dargo, yeah.
Are you on Green
No.
Suns yet?
You crop rot, like you have Dryad Arbor.
Yep.
You tap it, you crop rot it,
Yep.
then you get another land. You could get like a artifact land.
Yeah.
Sack it to Dargo. Like that's a.
I think like unless Dried Arbor's coming down turn 1, that's like a bad plan, right?
Okay, but like then it rots in the rest of your deck. Like,
Yeah.
oh well.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, like I'm gonna see 9 cards probably.
That's true.
Like it's
true.
it's
Yeah.
just
You have to think about that's the same like argument as like a a surveil land in like a turbo deck.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I guess Rockside does run the one surveil most of the time.
Yep.
'Cause it's like, oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm not on Cord.
I think like playing Dried Arbor in the deck is not because like you trying to put a dork into play on turn 1 as well.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, at least.
And so
one,
like
yeah.
so Dried Arbor like actively goes against that plan
That's
in my
fair.
opinion.
Kind of, but it pitches to it doesn't pitch. Sorry, it pitches to Diamond. But
Yeah.
also, if you have like a Chromox or something, you could still get a Dork in turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Then you have Armored Dork on turn 2.
Yep.
How many creatures is this deck on?
I'm on 23, I think,
Okay.
which is actually lower than I was on in Mardu.
Yeah, I was like, is this a survival deck too? But I do think that creature count is maybe a little too low for it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like the creature package right now feels okay because there's a lot of heavy hitters. I think the card I've been most impressed with is Selvala. She's a little slow, but then like 7 mana of any color plus draw a card every time you cast Dargo is
she's
like
insane. She's insane.
Is nuts. You could definitely go up on creatures. There's like I think you could go up on interaction. I'm still trying to solidify like I know what this deck is trying to do. It's either trying to like turbo out a Razakath or turbo out some other line.
I will once again bother you. I think you need to be running Gwenna.
Remind me what she does again.
It's two and a green.
Yep,
It's a dork that taps for 2.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
2 of any color, but you can only use it to cast creatures or activate abilities.
Yep.
But if you cast a creature with power 5 or greater, it untaps and gets a counter. So
Oh,
that
so it's like
includes-
another Berkey.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it generates more mana.
It generates
Yeah.
more mana, but it's also only creature mana.
True, but you're usually using it to cast Dargo.
Yeah.
At that point.
And then also like if you cast Rakdos costs like 3 then because it untaps.
Yeah.
Untaps.
If you
and then
cast-
just win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if you're like leaning more on these like Food Chain and Gwenna and all that stuff,
Yeah.
like I do think that you want to be on like Sephiroth.
Yep.
Like I think that you do want to be on those like War and Soul Trader lines.
Yep.
Just so that you can kill people with that creature mana.
Yep.
But no, I think that's a good shout. Like Gwenna is really interesting.
It's,
for sure.
it's, just, it's a powerful effect, and like Selvala doesn't have that untap effect.
Yep.
But it obviously has like the card draw. So it's just interesting. Like that card has always played well for me in that, especially the Rule Dargo list where you have like more limited options. But yeah, I mean this list is just it's cool.
I think it's
sick.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also like you just get so much brewer's advantage too, right? People are just like, I have no idea what this is doing.
Yeah, and then it's like I knew what was going to happen, but there was a known force of will, but I had a turn 2 greater good, and I'm just like, greater good? Question mark.
And they're like,
And they're like, oh, we're dead, huh?
Yeah.
Like, there's a force. If you let it resolve, you're 100%
Yeah.
dead. But I have to at least like find out.
offer draw.
Greater good offer draw. Exactly. It's really cool. I'm really excited about it. The list is up on Adnos if you want to check it out there. Some people were asking good questions about it.
It's also in our Discord,
Yep.
our deck list channel.
Yeah. There's a big huge question thread about this in Adnos. But
Nice.
speaking of strictly, our friends at Strictly Competitive EDH said hot take. This card is garbage, and it's Tataru Taru.
Hot take, this take is garbage.
Just
Like-
I get it. I get the idea right now, just because so many people are like, "Oh, Heuristic Study bad, jam instead," and like it's not making you the treasures you want. It's like no, it still is. At worst, it's a signet that draws you a card.
It's also like, again, just like Dargo Brain, but turn 1 or turn 2 Tataru Taru probably means you're winning on turn 3. Like
Yeah.
whatever turn comes
Yeah.
after that, you just win.
Yeah, Tataru. I've been nothing but impressed by the card. Like, I think the
I've had
card's
someone
nuts.
argue that Taru is not a turbo card, and I was like, "You're wrong.
It's absolutely
it's
a turbo
turn
card.
1 Taru, turn 2 push win. Like it's not that
Yeah.
complicated.
Yeah, I
'Cause
agree.
that means you have 2 mana, you untap with 3, you play a land that's 4. If you have any other rocks or the thing that you drew off Taru, like
Yeah.
you could be presenting 5 mana, and that's a nod.
And most of the time, there's someone that's like mold low that like the card that you're
Like,
giving.
please
someone
give me
that's
the
like,
card draw,
Who cares,
please.
dude? Like, I've been super impressed by
and
this
it
card.
turns on Amber.
Yeah,
Turns on Amber, weirdly taps to Magda for reasons. Like, it does stupid stuff.
Oh my god! All right,
wait, are you on Magda and Tim Dargo?
It doesn't make enough treasures.
Okay,
In Timid Dargo, I am.
or in okay,
No.
but if you're on Broodlord, you put it back in, right?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
I think so, but
Maybe. But you're not on Bolus.
I cut Bolus because I have bricked way too many times with it.
Okay. I have another question for you.
Yeah.
Are you worried about if you add Broodlord back into your deck? Are you worried about the additional redirect lightning from Saw in Half?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, kind of. Honestly, what?
So, like, okay, the only reason I'm asking this is I used to play, like I said, I used to play Master Keys. I used to play Broodlord in the deck. And every single time I used to Saw in Half, like, Tyler would just tutor out a Spellskite somehow, and it would just always get Spellskited,
Dude,
you know?
It's funny. Something that I like to do with Broodlord, which is like probably incorrect, but a lot of the time I try to use it for. This actually happened in a game with you. It was one of the first games I played ever with you and Jay, and I used Broodlord just to grab Pact. And so Pact was sitting there. You guys looked at my graveyard. You looked at my exile pile, and someone tried to do something. I was just like, "Oh, Pact from exile."
Yeah.
And like, so I try to use it to grab. Not Saw in Half if I can avoid it, and like obviously if it's my way to win, I'm going to grab Saw in Half.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, like, and I also think the deck probably needs to be on Redirect Lightning, maybe SWAT, and like a couple pieces to like. I'm not on either Veil, which I think is probably wrong, but
I think Veil of Summer is
really
too good
Yeah,
to cut.
Maybe there's a world where you. I'm just going to go back to the list for a second.
Yeah.
Since you're still like Razaketh focused, maybe there's a world you run Brewmaster and Kiki-Jiki.
I was thinking about Kiki-Jiki.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking about Kiki-Jiki because it is something that does something with Pod, right? Like,
It not only does something with Pod, but if you have a Kiki-Jiki in yard, you cast Brewmaster, you have infinite Brewmasters with haste.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was thinking about and you could technically do Brewmaster Devoted if you really wanted to.
Well, you just entomb Kiki, then you play Brewmaster for
I think that it's
4.
like if the meta slows down and starts being like a lot more responsible, like these are the lines that you're gonna like want to look for.
Brewmaster might be better than Soul Cauldron.
Again, if you're on like Gwenna, like if you're like leaning into more creatures, like I said, I think like there's so much experimentation that can be done.
Yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff. I'm sorry, that just came up and.
No, I'm the one who pivoted back to this too. I was like, wait, hold on.
Taru? Yeah, fuck that card. We're talking about John Dargo, baby. All right.
The mana of any color has been surprisingly relevant of Soul Cauldron, and that's the last comment I'll make.
No, that's
on
fair.
Because like with Volt and like just all of Grim Monolith, all the colorless you make.
Razaketh, you need
Okay.
black. Yeah, that makes sense.
We're just talking about adding Cabbage Merchant, which is Kiki-Jiki, and not Kiki, Brewmaster, like gas.
Oh yeah, it does.
And then also you're on Golden Goose. So like,
and then you can also just steal someone's Ranger Captain and just have all the foods, and you have 12 Ranger Captains.
That's
like straight up, dude. Corey Williams was saying like that. He's like, dude, this is why I'm so excited for Cabbage Man.
it's
because Hazel's Brewmaster just makes it. Because then you could also like with that like you can just Hazel's Brewmaster a dork, you know, and all your foods are dork. Like, and you're just like, well, okay, like I get it.
yeah,
create 35 mana.
All my foods are Death
Like,
Shaman. That's crazy.
it's pretty nuts.
Speaking of which, we had a tweet from Colin, our friend. He says, watching a cEDH game right now in the league with Cabbage Man in it, this might be good, if not better than Smothering Tithe.
Dude, he's almost loose. I can't wait for Friday.
This card is going to be so expensive. Like money-wise.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
What?
He's only going to see play in cEDH. He's not good in 60 card formats.
Yeah.
Like he's and even then, like I was listening to the Goldfish podcast, and they're like talking about like the most hyped cards we are for Avatar. They didn't mention this card, which is wrong because even in casual, this card's nuts. But like I do think that the price is not going to go that high.
It's at. We were just looking before this.
The foil was
at 41.
Yeah.
I think it goes down.
For sure.
Everything goes down for the most part.
Yeah. Because I don't know that there will probably be a couple cards we find that break after the fact, or like we realize how strong they are after the fact.
Yeah.
But this card is insane. It's absolutely
so good.
nuts.
I can't fucking wait. I've been hyping them up for like 3 months now.
We've talked about all these creatures. Let me introduce you to my friend Single Target Removal.
Don't tell them.
Yeah, don't tell them that 1-mana single target removal spells exist, such as Pongify and Swords to Plowshares.
Look,
Path
dude,
to
you should
Exile.
never do that to a Cabbage Man.
I'm doing it all the time to a Cabbage, bro.
Look, dude, you wouldn't use a Chain of Vapor on a Smothering Tithe, would you?
Yeah, you would.
I do it all the time.
Yeah,
What are
you
talking
would.
about? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because in decks that can't use the food for anything else,
It's still calling ritual mana.
Dude, Snap,
That's fair.
Snap is free.
Snap is free. Snapback also free.
Yep.
True.
Yeah.
This feels more and more relevant as we get deeper into the creature combo world.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
this
these are the
target
veggies that
removal.
people have,
Yeah.
that have pushed off their tray, dude.
For sure. Yeah, and unfortunately, these things don't inherently stop like Atali and stuff like that.
Sure.
They definitely help, though.
They definitely help.
Yeah.
But like, if there's an Atali on the stack and you have swords in your hand, you're like, okay, like sure.
Yeah, but like once you get like with Atali, like the Twin Flame on the
Yeah,
stack,
yeah.
you just like get rid of Atali, and you're like, all right, like
Provided
you
they don't
still might be able to go, but it's a lot harder for you now.
Yep.
Exactly. But yeah, this is just something we wanted to bring up. Like, hey, these cards exist, and there's people that
Yep.
aren't running them right now because I think there's reasons to not run them.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were talking about the Mind Sculptors podcast before.
Yep.
And Ian and Cal were kind of talking about how the meta has felt incredibly fast, and they're worried about it just because of the turn order simulator and lack of skill and expression of, and you know, we have our own opinions on like the lack of skill expression statement, but
What are your opinions on that? Like, they're saying that it's not skill expressive to be just like full turbo and full send, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's entirely true.
I don't know if it's entirely true. I do lean on that end of it. I think that there's less skill expression when the meta is full turbo than it is when there's a good variety of decks at the table.
Do you think that Jason's not expressing his skill by?
No. I'm saying there's less skill expression to navigating like one of those like double Ristic, double Tithe games. Like to navigate that into a win is much harder, in my opinion, than navigating most Rogsai games. Now, Jason has sent us some puzzles on the back end, and I'm like, maybe not. Like, it definitely changes that. But like, if we're talking about like Atali, like,
Yep.
I think that deck, like the more people that play that deck, we have good friends in the format that play that deck and enjoy it.
Yep.
I hate that deck. I think that's like one of the least skill expressive decks in the format. And
Okay, but that's like a deck. Right?
yeah, for sure.
I think turbo, like it also depends on which turbo deck you're playing, I guess. Like not to sound elitist about the turboism, but some are much more complicated than others.
For sure. And like we were talking before the podcast about Anala,
Yeah.
right? And like, but it is much easier for people to memorize a flow chart
For sure.
than it is for people to be like, how do I navigate and sandbag and
Yep.
make deals? And like, there's just so much more of the game when there is a variety of things happening at a table.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think like learning to be a more well-rounded player, I think actually requires playing decks that enable you to get into those spaces more often.
For sure. For sure.
I'm going to push back on you a little bit.
Yeah.
You said memorizing an Anala flowchart is a easy skill. Like, it's hard, right? There's a lot of steps and stuff. That's fine. That's not the part I'm pushing back on. The part I'm pushing back on is if you can just do the flowchart every time, you can get like push turn 2, turn 3, whatever, consistently. Your win rate's still going to be 25%. It's not going to be above average. Like, it's not, right? But like, that means you're not expressing skill. Like, you don't have the skill required to be successful on a turbo deck.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that playing turbo is not skill expressive at all. I'm saying that I think it's less.
I just think it's a different skill set. I don't think it's hard to define more or less. I think maybe that's where I'm like, eh.
Well, and even then, like when we're in our meta currently right now, where it's like, I sat down on Friday and played. It was like me playing against 3 no interaction turbo decks, right? 0 at the table. And like, they are not even having to express the skill of like finding a window because their window is just there, right? Like they just have to beat one person stopping them.
Sure.
And like the more and more turbo that is happening, I think the like less and less skill expression is happening as well, right? Because like you don't have to invest yourself into like finding a window because your window's just open. I mean, that's just like my in general like thought of if everyone is playing turbo, which currently not everyone is, and you know, there's been some speculation of stacks and mid-range coming back and, you know, eating their veggies and, hey, like maybe the Tymna plan is fine, right? Of being like, I'm just going to cast Tymna and I have 3 counter spells and I'm not going to lose the turbo decks and I'm just going to grind them to dust. Like, it's kind of winning. We're like talking about Tivit. We're talking about Tivit. Like, we're talking about like all of these other decks that like just eat vegetables, right? And they're going to cook this turbo meta sometimes. Maybe not a Rogsai because Rogsai wins on turn 1. But, yeah, I don't know. That's just my feeling about.
I just don't think that a Rogsai can luck into like perfect hands every single time, right? Like
True.
You need to express your skill in other ways, which is like mulliganing correctly, building your deck correctly.
Yeah, but you should be doing that in every other on your decks too, right? Like on your mid-range decks and your control decks and your stacks decks.
But one would argue that you're not building your deck correctly if you're just building a pure mid-range deck right now.
Which I agree with. I agree with that statement completely.
What I mean. Like, you're expressing your skill in different ways.
Yeah.
And maybe your skill is not like, okay, well, I'm at the table and I don't have, there's less politics because there's less time to politic. There's less things to politic over. But that means that you're allocating your skill in other ways. You're assessing what is powerful right now.
Yeah, which
you're
like
building correctly, you're molding correctly, those things.
And like having the right meta call, right? Like I think that is a skill in itself, right? And of being like, I think that this is what's good in the meta currently, right now.
Do you want to talk about some comments that people have made about our influence over the current meta and stuff? You don't have to call them out directly, but like just...
No, I mean, I think like we've had a few people that have like, and we've kind of talked about it behind closed doors about like, do we have have we influenced the tide of the format into being what it is right now, in it being turbo? Do we think that the league is forcing people into that? Not forcing people into that. That's the wrong statement.
It's incentivizing.
Is like, is it incentivizing it? Is it us talking about, hey, we're jamming? Like, has it influenced the format in a way that we can actually quantify? And like, I personally, I think that I'm leaning towards the answer of yes.
Yeah.
Like specifically, I think the league, like people are practicing on our league and the league is insanely fast. But there's also a lot of people that are cooking with it in stacks, right? Like, and we just watched a top 16 game that for the last month, and it was 3 farms and a Kinnan, right? Like, it definitely is pushing people towards quick, but I think it's also teaching people how to play against that quick meta.
It is, and I think something that like a misconception I think is that like turbo just turbos and doesn't talk, doesn't give a shit, just jams. And like, I think you almost have to be willing to talk more.
Oh, sure.
Because you need to gain what information you can when you have no counter spells in your hand, but you do have a win.
Yeah.
And then the other part of it that does feel skill expressive still is like, I've played a lot of games with Dexter, and like, Dexter will both kill you on turn 1, and Dexter will also kill you on turn 7 and like control the game. Playing Rockside the whole time.
Yep.
Like he's able to just navigate that space very well, and I think that degree of turbo player is a very different thing. But like,
I think that's where the skill expression
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I also think that like different turbo decks are more skill intensive too, right?
You just mentioned the triple farm and Kinnan game, right? That game's still going on.
That makes sense.
Yeah, right. But
I saw 3 Ristic Studies and 2 Smothering Tides in that game,
but is
right?
that where we want to be? Like, there's got to be some like middle ground. Like, I know that certain games are outliers, right? Some certain games you have the outlier of someone won on turn 1, I didn't get done tap. Like, that sucks. But there's also the outlier of like, we have these long games. I was at work and that game was going on. I came here, we had Chipotle and McDonald's, and that game was going on. Now we're recording, I check my phone, the game's still going on.
Yeah.
Like, is that what we want?
I think that specifically, at least the last time I looked at that game, there was no like copy enchantments and mirror maids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is indicative of we're not in that crazy Ristic slop meta that we were in, even though that this game that is currently happening is that. It's all like, there's no clones on the battlefield unless it's Kinnan as well, right? Which like that is their plan, is to clone some of these really dangerous enchantments. But knowing some of the players that are in that pod, specifically the Matt Hayes, like he
Which
is on
one?
a,
We have like 10 in our
By the way, shout out that whole response to last
It's
week's
so
episode
funny.
was very funny.
Hey, look at all the comments.
It's very
like,
funny.
Is that him?
Yeah.
The Matt Hayes?
It's the Matt Hayes. Like he is on a very control-oriented farm list. Like he's not on Necro. So like that is the game that he wants to play.
Yep.
And he can force that game into existence a lot of the times.
I think there's room, like, I don't want to go back to, here's my third Ristic study, I'm going to, like...
Agreed.
I don't want to go back to that world. I think I would like us to be a half a turn to a turn slower than we are right now.
Yeah, I would like us to be a turn 4 format.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's where I feel that's where I'm like, this feels good. But realistically, I don't know if we're not already a turn 4 format.
I think we're a turn 2.5 format. I want to be turn 3.
I do not necessarily think that we're a turn 2.5 format right now.
For me, 2.5 is like, would be essentially like the front end of turn 3. Like decks can push on
Yeah,
turn
for sure.
2
Like
and
C1
then-
and 2 can push on
Yeah.
their third turn.
That's what I see as like a turn 2.5. Because like if you're seats 3 or 4, you're like, okay, I had 2 turns. Now
Yeah.
I need to have like interaction or something for these two seats that are in front of me,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know if we're seeing... Like, maybe it's just because I was playing Atraxa this last weekend, and like that deck is perceived as a deck that runs a ton of interaction.
You're playing
and,
Turbo Atraxa.
Yeah. Well, I'm playing Turbo Slanted Atraxa.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's like
Are
full
you on,
turbo.
Are you on Nausea and Necro?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that like makes the deck full turbo, right? Like I wouldn't say that Farm is a full turbo deck. I wouldn't say that like
Who's far?
well, your farm is full turbo,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Like even Jason's farm deck is not full turbo.
No.
The first game plan is
proactive
find a
slanted.
Necro. Yeah, it's a proactive slanted farm. And I think that the Atraxa list that I'm currently playing is proactive slanted. But I don't know if it's like a full turbo Atraxa deck.
I will take it a step further. You mentioned your distaste for Atali. I think Atali is actually doing things to the format right now that we can't really describe because the decks want to go faster than Atali.
Yeah.
That's setting the bar for where Turbo is.
Yeah.
So if Atali can do a turn 1, turn 2 Atali,
Then we all need to be able to do it.
we all need to be able to go faster.
Yeah.
And like that's the easiest way to interact with Atali is to not let it cast Atali.
Yeah, make
So-
it a passenger, right? Like
Right, but even Mind Sculptors rated Atali pretty low on their tier list.
I think the Mind Sculptors tier list was a little propaganda facing
Yes,
because they were like, we don't want some of these proactive decks to be ranked highly and more people play them.
I think there's truth to that, but also I think we have a responsibility of like if the cases that we can influence the meta and we're influencing via the league and you know this show, you know we can say like, yeah, you can play Atali, but like if everyone's playing Atali, where does that?
Yeah, you don't want to
Take
flip a
us.
coin, right? And like
No.
I think that's like what a lot of what Ian was saying when he was concerned about where the format is leaning is like, hey, like yes, you can bring these like super proactive decks like Ral and like Atali and like you know Timna Dargo, the turbo version of Timna Dargo, and like you see a lot of the highs of like Atali going 18 points at Fishbowl, right? Like you see a lot of these things. You see Atali doing well at Cookout and like all these things, right? But you also don't see the other side of that coin, which is they also went 0-2-5 at another tournament like the next month, right?
Well, the annoying thing about Atali is that Julian is a really good player,
yeah.
and so like I fought against him with Zach Adler in the pod as well, and like we just died. And like it didn't matter because like he's a really fucking good player, like, and he could have done that on probably another deck as well.
Yeah.
But you know, he's the outlier when it comes to like that deck. So it's
Yeah.
interesting.
But I do think, like basically the in general statement of them was like, hey, like the format needs to start eating its vegetables a little bit more. And like, we're not saying that the people completely going for it are wrong.
Speaking of eating your vegetables.
Yeah. Speaking of eating your vegetables.
I said that I really never legitimately played Tivit. I had a list together for a while. Never played it in a tournament. Played it for, I have like a rotating set of decks that I just kind of keep with me and whatnot. But I'm like, you know what? I actually have like enough cards to put real cards into this deck. And I think I'm like 12 cards off from being real right now with Tivit. And like a lot of them are just like dual lands and Grim Monolith and stuff like that. But I put this deck together, started putting in like stuff that I thought would be, good answers to what's going on right now. Drannith being one of them. Opposition Agent being another. And yeah, I'm gonna fucking oppo your lands. I don't care. I'm not oppoing just your tutors. I'm you know what I mean? Like if you're turboing and it's Rogsai trying to fetch, no.
Yeah. I mean, we saw like Raul, MTG Basics Raul, like he put together a pretty hard control TNT deck together, right? And like that it's eating its vegetables.
But the difference is between that and this, I don't think green adds a whole lot to control right now.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, okay, I could be playing Glarb as I have done before. And in my head, that equation isn't working out.
The only green card that you're getting for like control is Calling Rant.
Yeah, but even then, that's like a win attempt usually. Like you're trying to put something together.
Yeah.
Well, and if you think about like historically what holds Esper back, it can't close games, but Tivit says I win.
Right here. It's right. Yeah. It's right in the command
right
zone.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have like all you need is Tivit times Civ, game over.
And you don't have to play Tivit at any point.
Nope.
Like you.
You're just playing control.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the time you get to the point where Tivit lands, it's probably too late for everyone else.
Yeah.
They just don't like Tivit to me at least feels like a deck that I don't know that I've lost to it yet, but I very much have already lost to it.
Yeah.
That's true.
The cool thing about Tivit is that if you properly identify your window to play Tivit, you are leaving 2 mana open.
Yeah.
And passing the turn, probably.
Yeah.
Or if you're not winning, you're just passing the turn, right? And you're like, okay, well, I have 2 treasures. Hopefully that's good enough for my free counterspell suite plus like maybe a Swan Song or something like that, or a Silence. And that's like pretty dang strong. Like not a lot of commanders, especially 6 mana ones, can't say that.
Yeah.
And then you get to untap with Tivit, and because it has Ward 3, no one's like
getting rid of Tivit.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also gets to run probably your favorite combo in all of cEDH, which is Opposition Agent's Scheming Symmetry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very like legit win con. You can just
Yeah.
And then,
Also, Scheming Symmetry is just an underplayed card in this format.
It's a very. You can say like who's going to get a land.
Yeah.
Yep.
And someone will always volunteer.
Well, especially right now, like if you're just gonna win with your tutor anyway, like who cares what the other person's getting?
Or you can, if there's another turbo deck, like, I need your help. Please get a counterspell.
Yep.
Yeah.
To the person on my left, there's a turbo deck in C3. Please help.
Yeah, for sure.
I think like looking at decks like this, like obviously we just talked about Wan Chi Tong. With Mind Sculptors in mind, like Ian just took down Big ZD with Yoshi Thras.
Like a full-blown mid-range deck.
Yep. Like there is, just as much as there is a door open for turbo, like kind of irresponsible play right now, there is a almost wider door open for just like a very skilled, very responsible player.
Control player.
Absolutely dunking on the turbo.
Absolutely.
We talked about Gataxian Pro being like an excellent card and like turbo card in the meta. I think it's fantastic in a different mode in this deck because you have control. You can expose someone's hand. You can gather and share information. It also still cracks top deck tutors. It still does that thing. It's free. We don't use our life total at all in this deck. And then, wouldn't you know it, 28 instants. Like,
most of them being counterspells.
Yep.
Are you on Strix?
I am.
Yeah.
I think Strix is testing okay. I'm not like 100% sure about it. But a 1 mana counter a creature feels pretty strong. 1 mana counter an artifact feels okay right now.
I feel like I want one more like of those cycle, like of that Swan Song cycle that like hits a creature of like mana 3 or less, an enchantment and an instant or something like that.
The
Like
cycle of
like-
Swan Song and Strict Serenade is complete. They're not printing enough. There's no other types.
I could,
What,
yeah,
like a
no, but
battle?
I'm saying like they could mix them.
Oh, I see. I
So
don't
I'm
think-
saying like, oh hey, like we're gonna have a creature sorcery and whatever, like
I don't know that they would do that. That
I wouldn't be surprised. Like in Modern Horizons 4, like I could see it.
Modern
That's gonna be
Horizons 7.
disgusting.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna give us
Yeah.
another 1 mana.
Yep.
Like
We're trying
counterspell.
in this deck. We're trying to stay on most of the free interaction, including Commandeer, Snapback, just to have that extra removal piece.
Mm-hmm.
Offer feels fine. It's okay. I don't really care if people have treasures as long as it's not Kinnan. March of Swirling Mist has been great. I cast this in when I was playing Wanchitong in the cEDH TV
Yeah.
gameplay.
Yep.
And Mons is like, okay, I'll untap and like time walk myself, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I
so-
think it's a really good answer for some of the creature combo stuff.
Unfortunately, it doesn't answer things like Abolisher if it's already on the field. But if let's say Jordan were playing Tim the Dargo, he's trying to cast Abolisher and Dargo's there. If I phase out Dargo,
Yep.
what
Yeah.
is he doing? Like there's
Yeah.
not much there. So.
Are you on the other the channel enchantment, the white one?
Touch
I
zero.
thought about it. I am not currently
Okay.
because
I do see a
hopefully-
deafening silence.
Yeah, hopefully I'm not getting to the point where I need to like start removing the abolishers once they're there.
Sure.
Like I don't want to ever get to that point. As far as like stacks pieces, there are some. Grafdigger's Cage is one of them. I've thought about Dampening Sphere and Weathered Runestone. Not quite there yet on either of those. And then I am on Deafening Silence. In my brain, it works. We'll see if it works in actuality.
Yeah. I mean, also, I think like the fact that just being on Drannith, like Drannith hoses so many decks right now.
Drannith Deafening Silence is a combination which most decks cannot play through.
Yeah, correct.
And then Counterbalance has been testing great because this deck's mana value lines up very well with other decks.
Yeah. Just a bare counterbalance. No top, dude.
We don't need it because like if you have counterspells and you have a counterbalance, if you don't counterbalance, if your counterbalance doesn't work on the spell that you actually need to counter, that's when you use your counterspell. It's
For sure.
It's like an extra half of a counterspell. It's kind of a weird way to think about it.
No, I think counterbalance is like pretty underplayed in general.
Yeah. And then we're on Urza Saga just to get Cage and Soul Ring and Manifold Key and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
overall,
I'm interested to see how it works.
I've won the only game I've played on it, which has been great.
100% win percentage.
Can't beat that. That was Wizards and Warlocks?
Yeah, we had played a game on their Twitch because they were like, show us how the league works, like top to bottom, like show us the whole process
cool.
and all that stuff. And I
Oh,
was like,
nice.
cool. I was like, I want to play Tivit. They're like, okay. And then they're like, oh, we're getting cooked like slowly. Like we're the boiling frogs. Like
Yeah.
the water is being turned up. Like I had a counterbalance and I counterbalanced a Voice of Victory. I counterbalanced their last option to stop me when I had Time Sieve on the stack trying to resolve was a decon, and then I counterbalanced with a Orm's Chant. And they're like, okay, we're dead. Like, we can't
That's
do
so
anything.
fun.
Yep. But the deck's fun, and I think that like Austin said, there's a lot of room for these type of decks that are, eating their vegetables.
Yeah. I think realistically the format's like so wide open right now.
Yep. People are just not willing to experiment, and also people they want to go fast. People want to go. Like it's fun.
It feels good going fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does.
Winning on turn 2 is like the most fun I probably ever had. In small doses. I don't want every game to happen that way.
I enjoy that game that's happening currently in our league right now. That's what I enjoy.
Yep.
Yeah. We mentioned it already.
Yep.
This podcast, but Redirect Lightning. I think this card's going to see more play than people are talking about.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it right before. Like, at the point that you really need this, 5 life probably doesn't matter. Like, maybe you Nas too deep, and like you're maybe in a bad situation regardless there.
Yeah.
But I think it's fine. Like,
It's just it's another piece to protect from Besagio,
which is huge.
which is there's not a lot in the game that does that.
Yep.
And like we were talking a little bit before, and like does Farm test it in the spot of a Pyroblast or a Red Blast? Maybe. I don't know if every deck is going to end up slotting this in. I do think Sans Blue decks are just putting this in every version of it.
My version of Farm is running only red blast, and I still feel like I need a way to destroy Aristic. So
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this doesn't accomplish that. But
It could, if it's a Besagio.
it could.
Yeah.
It doesn't often.
No, it doesn't often. I realistically, I really do think that this card is going to see a lot of play in our format, and if it doesn't, I think that's incorrect.
I know it's going in, or I shouldn't say I know. At one point for Kefka, it was replacing Deflecting Swat because 5-mana commander might just not be there all the time.
Yeah,
Sure.
dude, I just switched to Brea, cut SWAT, cut Fierce, put Redirect Lightning in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it does for these decks that either don't have a large interaction suite or can't rely on swap being online for free all that often. I think it sees play there.
Yeah.
It's also just a sick art. I really liked this treatment across the board for the set. The cards look really nice.
Yeah. I truly think this card's incredible. I am super happy with it. I also think this design space is something that I want Wizards to lean into, because it gives us really strong cards that can be printed in a standard that are going to be basically unplayable in 60 card.
Yep.
Because 5 life is so much life there.
Yeah.
But in our format, we're just who cares?
Yep.
And so if they're going to tie really strong effects to losing a significant portion of life, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, totally agree.
Give me a multiplayer Thoughtseize that makes me lose life, please.
They should have switched the arts. The base art should be on this border.
That would actually be sick.
This art is incredible.
Yeah.
I like both.
I mean, dude, the giant bolt. Imagine this in foil.
Yeah.
And this is okay. I'm sure this looks great, but
Yep.
Yeah.
I pulled a couple of foil of this art treatment, and they look not of Redirect Lightning. I actually didn't get one. They look pretty
Sad
good.
day.
Yeah, it is. I didn't get any of the cards I wanted, really. It was kind of a sad day.
You got me one.
I did get you one.
Yeah.
there is a cabbage sitting on the table
There's
now.
a foil cabbage that's going to be unveiled on Friday.
all right. You want to talk about these videos that we were in?
Was I in this one?
Yes, you were. Or no, Eric was.
No. So we played a few games with MTG Basics. They've been releasing them slowly throughout the last month or so. I don't know what's being played right now.
This is me playing Tevesh Dargo.
Tevesh Dargo.
I just ripped a turn 3 win.
And I think Eric's playing the Bear?
No, he's playing Nissa.
Nissa. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I just shout out. They had us down, or had us up for most of you guys, had me down because I live north of them, to just kind of hang out and play some games. Had a ton of fun. I really like the stack mat that they have. That they have an overlay, and you can just start the stack all the way down, which I think is really really cool.
This whole thing that says the stack is a play mat.
That's sick.
But I think we played a ton of games with them this week.
This is the last one of that session. I think we played 5 or 6, but this is the last one. So,
but it was a ton of fun. It was really really fun. I got to play Gwenum a few times. I cooked one game, and then I got a text message from their editor being please don't ever play this deck on our channel again. Essentially, he's there's so many cards that I just don't know what it does, but sure. But yeah, I mean, it was a good time, and you guys should check it out. MTG Basics, Denver local people, and then plus Waffle. And
congrats to them for getting 7K subs.
Yeah, congrats. They just did a crazy giveaway for 2 duels, a Scrub and a Savannah.
They said if they hit, I think 10K next
They'll
year,
do a C.
or 15K or something next year, they'll do an undergrad C.
I think it's 10K for a C.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do a lot of really cool content too, right? They just kind of went over some avatar cards.
Yep.
Ours is a lot more casual, when it comes to us talking about cards, but they really try to break them down and what they're going to do for the cEDH format. They have a lot of gameplay videos, and they're very tight, and it's good. Yeah.
They do more editing than we do, and that's something they should be praised for.
Yeah,
Indeed.
it's true. And then this is a game that we were playing on cEDH TV. I was in seat 4 and got wheeled into nothingness on turn 1 when Pontus 50-50 gambled for a wheel and got it. And I was like, I can't believe I'm just out of this game now.
I wish I had the testicular fortitude that he does.
Dude.
Talking to him about decks and gameplay patterns is a wild ride.
Yeah.
He just thinks about it so differently.
Oh, dude. It's so sick to watch, though.
Yep.
Like, he's just like, yeah, I'm either going to win or lose right now. Like, it's fine, you know? It was a pleasure playing with these guys. They have their shit together when it comes to recording content, dude. Like, they're like, all right, this is what you're going to do. This is like, they basically just gave us everything we needed to know. Mons does a lot of behind the scenes work, which I am thoroughly impressed by.
They had the setup.
Yeah.
They had everything perfect. Mm-hmm. And they're like, this is how you do it. And we're like, okay. And then, man, like the video came out fantastically.
Yep. And then
we brought the yap to them though.
I don't know. They're not used to like playing in tournaments. They play a lot of like content games or just like for fun games. And there were a lot of times where we're just like, no, we should like talk about this for a second. And they're like, wait, what? And we're like, let's start making some deals. And like, how this game ended was pretty wild.
Yeah.
Because like I was out of this game for like, so I got wheeled out of a decent hand, and then Logan just counterspells my turn 3 Ristic Study, which felt really bad. I was just like, okay, I'm like actually out of this game.
Yeah.
So I'm staring at, well, first of all, I really considered pacting his counterspell.
Yeah, it was a spell.
Because I was like, if I draw enough cards,
I think it was a spell pierce actually, but yeah.
yeah, it was like a spell pierce. I was like, if I draw enough cards, I could just try to win on top of my pact, right? Like I have a land and a soul ring. It's not
a dream.
It's like it could be due. Like I was like, I started doing the math, and like I'm still pretty new on this attracts list, but I was like, I started doing the math of being like, what are my chances if I don't have a Ristic Study and I'm just sitting on 2 counterspells, or pacting and hope, right? And like I truly think that the pact might have been correct. And I even talk about it in the video. Being
I think it was
like,
incorrect for me to counter heuristic in
correct.
that situation.
Yeah.
But also, like, trying to push the boundaries of what the control deck could do there was...
Yeah, well, in a control deck, you don't want people to have resources like a Ristic Study, right? Like,
yeah.
It was a really odd dynamic, too, because like we had a Turbo Grixis, a hard control, semi-blue, and then me playing Atraxa, which is like so cool of a dynamic in a pod.
Yep.
But like the game, I mean, spoilers if you skip 10 seconds or so. The game ended because I had to counterspell something, but my only offer of doing this was if Mons cast his Show and Tell, because I had a Necro in hand but no mana to play it. And he's like, I'll do that. And then he puts in a sneak attack. And I was like, oh, we messed up. But I was like, I have 0% chance unless this happens, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I even say again in the video, being like, if this is a tournament, I'm offering a draw here.
Yeah, and they had said behind the scenes that like we've never drawn on the channel.
Yeah,
it's like not good for content, and we totally agree. Like we're not.
Yeah, exactly.
The outcome of the game is not relevant, right? Like we had a good time and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
But us being tournament grinders, like we're like, oh, I
I was
smell
like,
a draw.
this would be a draw right now. Like I have no resources and 2 counterspells. This game is drawing. But yeah, and then he put a Show and Tell, or he cast Show and Tell, which was also, there was a previous deal for him to not cast a Show and Tell.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would like to revisit this deal.
Did they do such a phenomenal job of the and they're kind of the only channel doing this of like, here's the hand that I kept and why I kept it, and like guiding you through the mulligan process is something that, like, if and when we start getting more gameplay stuff on our channel, I'd like to do something more like that.
Yeah.
Especially when we play decks either in a way that people don't typically play, or we're playing decks that people don't play at all. Like, I think that's a helpful thing for people to get to see.
Yeah, and I also think, I mean, like Logan released a video of like his mulligan strategy with Blue Farm, and it performed really well, and people are like, this is so insightful. Like people just want that type of information because it is a skill that is not able to be practiced in 60 cards at all, right?
Yeah.
Like most 60 card games, you're just like, oh, it's got lands and spells, and this is fine. And even in Casual Commander, it's got lands and spells. This is probably fine. Yep. And like in cEDH, we're like, Yeah, I'm down to go to 3. And you can like hear a lot of us like talking about the like you said, like the behind the scenes or when we're muted to everyone else, like talking, hey, like this is my mulligan's thought here. Like this is why I'm keeping this hand. This is the plan to go forward. And I agree. I think that like that is really, really good content when it comes to watching videos like this.
Yeah, and like explaining the keeping a hand because this is my plan is something that I think is important. Not just like, oh, here's 3 cards that I like. Maybe they'll do something.
We see so many empty deck lists that are just like, you know, like you pick up my Tibbet list, for example. You can see and identify what some of these cards do, right? But then you scroll down and you're like looking at this hand, and there's you look at this hand and you're like, okay, well, do I play Saga on 1 and I don't play Sentinel? Or do I play Polluted Delta and find a Tundra so I can play Sentinel? And then, you know, like you have to consider all these things. Oh man, this is kind of gas. There's a Commandeer.
Yeah, this hand's kind of sick, actually.
That's just commandeering a Necropotence guaranteed, dude.
But just hearing these thoughts, especially as a player who's not maybe as enfranchised or not as in the format as we are, like I think that's really cool. So. Yeah, check out that video from cEDH TV. Those guys are awesome.
We had a ton of fun. Yeah, I had a ton of fun playing this game.
Even
though I got wheeled turn 1, that felt kind of bad. But
we both wanted to play another game. They're like, that game took way too long. We have some leftover questions. I just wanted to kind of go through real quick. If you guys don't mind, I'll just read them and then we'll let you answer them. Zach is weird. We were talking about this guy earlier.
Oh, yeah.
He said he's being savagely roasted for cutting Ranger Captain and adding ROG to Blue Farm. You and me both, bud. As a newer player, I believe I need to focus more on clean play versus small percentage card choices. I punted a win into a draw on Tuesday by whiffing a breach line, you know, and he goes and talks about a bunch of different stuff. He says, how many high level player tournament recaps have how many high-level player tournament recaps have we listened to where they mention punting, but they just like don't dig into what happened? Do you think this content would like attract interest as like shiny cards do? That kind of stuff.
That's an interesting question. Yeah. I mean,
what do you think? I think so. I think that especially failing in a tournament setting, is like a pretty painful experience, but it's also probably the highest leverage experience you get to improve as a player, because you don't forget that shit. You remember the things that you punt really hard. Yeah. And maybe if you can help someone avoid that same mistake by, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like, I do agree that a lot of content doesn't go into like why, like what happened in the punt, because we probably use that term a little too often.
Nightlocker does this.
Oh, he does. Yeah, Nightlocker does. They are just starting to do content in the last few months.
He's starting to do content, but he's an enfranchised tournament creator, and he's like very highly ranked.
And he goes through his hands, like yeah.
I don't remember that shit.
No, me neither. I don't know. Yeah, like he's like, oh, I drew these 20 cards, and you're like, huh? But yeah, check out Nightlocker. I do think that it's like something that we probably could do better at. Like I did just say that I punted on a Traxa earlier this week, right? And it was just, I rushed out a food chain instead of casting a Mana Vault and then a food chain. And literally because of it, I had to sack my Grand Abolisher and I lost I got a draw, which felt so bad. Like I just rushed, you know, because I saw the line. First of all, I played this so well. I was playing against 3 Ranger Captains. And I was like, all right, here, I'm going to make you crack 1. Here's the Ogswell. And they're like, yeah, okay, crack. And I was like, sick, here's a Grand Abolisher. Put Necro triggers on the stack. Now I'm going to crack this E-Zone. Like, just did it so well until the very end. And it was just because I thought I had the game under wraps and took a few shortcuts, and I decided to not play clean.
So what we should do is put a video together on like a Moxfield playtester or something, get all the cards, the ones you can remember, reestablish the situation, put the opponents like, you know, Ranger Captains on the field, and then you can be like, okay, here's the sequencing, here's where I am in the turn cycle, here's how I played it, this is where I messed up. Here's how you play this line correctly. that sort of thing.
Yep. I also shout out to that game. I was playing against Vafnar. He's in our Discord.
Dude, that's so cool.
He's so cool. He's doing like a cross country trip because he's moving to California.
Sure.
But while he's doing this, from Maryland, while he's doing it, he's like, I'm gonna go play in CEDH tournaments all the way down the line. And I was like, this is so dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so he's like moving up towards like LA area, which I hate that place, but San Diego's nice.
I played a game with Vafnar and Anthony, the Xyrus player.
Yeah.
Game 1, and holy shit, was that a yap fest! I was like,
Oh yeah, he's a yapper, dude.
yeah, no, I had such a good time. Like it was a perfect game, and I was like, he at some point in the middle of the game, Vafnar was like, "Oh, I mulliganed wrong," and I was like, "Why do you say that?" He's like, "I didn't realize you guys were like, like pretty like high level yappers and like intense with the," and I was like, "Oh yeah," I was like, "Welcome to Denver."
Welcome to the blender,
And
dude.
that was game 1, right? So like
Yeah.
he's just like getting experience, and me and Anthony were just like talking back and forth. But the entire game, I was like, if Anthony plays correctly, he's going to kill my Crom. And I'm just like waiting. He untaps, boom, Crom is dead. He sacks a bunch of snakes to bombardment to kill Crom, and I was like, oh, we're drawing this game. Like we're just dead. Like we're gonna.
Yeah.
But it was funny. It was good.
But yeah, I just shout out to Vafnar because he plays a lot in Tabletop Simulator as well.
Oh, cool.
So if you do want to play on that,
Yeah, there's a good TTS Discord.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that whole program. I play it a lot, I used to play it a lot, but I'm super happy he's in our community now because he's really cool.
A couple other just like minor questions from this. What do you do as a group and individually when you punt or misplay? He says, I keep game notes, but I don't really include my opponent's decks, starting hand, or the great things you can find in like Play Nice, playnice.gg. But he kind of like notes what like the pivotal moments are, the choices we made, that sort of stuff. Like, is there anything that we do to try to, resolve those punts?
One thing, I believe this is from a game that I was in this game with Zach. I think it's what we were talking about earlier where Jason messaged us both after the fact. And the line was super tight. There was like, I think it was one missequence thing resulted in not having enough cards in line or in yard for breach. Like, it was really close.
I think he played, instead of playing LED first, he played another card first.
Get probe first, I think.
Yeah.
So it was close. And I before touching on like how I address it, one thing I wanted to mention with like, I think part of this question was like, should I be focusing more on incremental advantage from my card choices or my play patterns? I think the answer to that is always play pattern.
Yeah.
Like even once you're like the best of the best, you're still going to get more mileage out of your play patterns.
Until you are Jason Doan, you don't need to worry about individual card choices.
I'm halfway there.
Like, like legitimately,
I've got the last name.
yeah. Like legitimately, like until you can see lines that other people don't see consistently, then I agree 100%.
You're like Julia Roberts with like floating text in front of you. You see
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that. You're like,
yeah. Dude, you're the what's that show, the chess show with the girl?
Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit, where she
Yeah.
sees the chess pieces on the ceiling, dude.
But, dude, as far as like how to address this, I think one, like, I'm super guilty of grinding myself into dust when I make like what's something I perceive to be a large mistake, but that like super doesn't help. That makes it like hard to learn from it, I think.
I think it really depends on like your personality.
Sure.
Because like we see Jason on the other hand, right? Like Jason punts, which doesn't happen very often. The guy like beats himself up and just never makes that mistake again in his life.
He will beat himself up over something that is not a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. But he's just like, I should have won that game. And you're like, yeah, you should win every game. Like, that's how good you are, dude.
Yeah, but like, and we're like, why'd you lose? And he's like, well, no particular reason. And I'm like, okay. So like, why are you mad at yourself?
No. But like, he really does. He, there's been times where, in probably all three of our playing cEDH, where we're like, oh yeah, we just didn't have a chance in that game, And Jason's like, no, I have a significant chance in every game. Like,
He's like, well, I only mulled to 3 and I should have mulled to 2.
Yeah, exactly.
And
He's
we're
like,
like,
well,
what?
I should have kept that. It's like, yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah. And I really do think that it's it's really personality based. When I've like punted and need to cool off because I punted, I think that having a team helps so much, because you can just like go and tell your friends about how dumb you are, and everyone like laughs and you're just like, yeah, it happens.
Yep.
You know? And like it just gets you to like, it lets you shrug it off, and you're like, okay, I won't do that again. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Or your friend says, at least you had the opportunity to present a win.
Yeah,
like you punted a win, but like, you know, the window was closed on me.
Yeah, exactly. And so I like just communicating with you don't necessarily need a team, right? Like you need a community of some sort, right? Like if you're going to tournaments with two people and talk to them.
Critical EDH league community.
Yeah. Or like legitimately, like there are people that talk about their tournament experiences in our Discord, and like they get advice on
Or
how
stick around after the game and ask.
Yeah. That's the whole other thing. Like cEDH players are yappers, man. Like we love to yap about.
We love the game for the game.
Yeah, like why we lost that game, right?
The other easy thing you can do is, if you're playing online, you're playing in the league, record your games.
Yep.
I think people expect
Playing
it at
back.
this point that people are recording games, and just record it, watch it back, and say like, where did I mess up? Why am I taking so long to decide what spell to play or tutor for? You know, I know what I should be doing here, etc. Like, there's just so many things you can just review.
I don't know if this is something that, well, I'll just say it as this. It's something to keep in mind. When I goldfish, I try to only do it in paper now if I can, because I find the experience of doing it in paper versus Mox Field is very different.
I agree.
But second to that, I don't get to, oh, here's my combo in hand. I win game, shuffle up, play it again. It's like, no, I'm going to play out this breach line until they're dead. Like I take it all the way through, because there are times where like when you're goldfishing alone, you have time to look at this for 10 minutes and think about your decision tree and like play that out so it becomes muscle memory, so that you're not shaking and twitching in the real game, or at least not as badly.
That shake, dude. That shake. It's real, man.
It's so
like
real.
when people are still like learning the format, and like you can tell that they are winning the game and no one is doing anything about it, and they're starting to shake, and you're just like, hey man, go win the game.
Yep.
Like you're fine. Like no one else has anything.
There's
win the game.
There's
bro.
two buttons you can press.
Yeah.
There's the button you can press where you're like, good job for you, like, you know, good for you, go win the game. Or
Yeah.
you can press it like, I don't see the win. I don't like you show, like, I don't really think you have it, you know, like you could be the kind of like a dick.
You could be the one that's like, hey, I'll track your mana for you.
Yeah. Tracks it wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, play it all the way out. Like, make sure
Yeah.
you can get there. Seeing breach in your hand is not enough to say, oh, I win this game.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to ask you guys a question. What deck has the most shakers? People that shake when they're like, oh my god, I'm presenting a win.
Oh, that's funny.
Any Grixis deck that's not Roxai.
Oh. It's like Anala.
Anala, Kefka,
Yep.
like just all
Goblin,
of the people
Kess.
that are playing, like all of the people that are playing Grixis that have not accepted that Roxai is the actual like logical
The truth.
conclusion of it.
Yeah.
Like they are, once they hit like their Decon Thoracle or Breach line,
Yep.
like I think they are the consistent shakers.
I think breach is the biggest one
Yeah.
because
Because when someone says play it out, they're like, oh.
yeah, it's like, oh, I have brain freeze LED. Is that good enough? No,
No.
but actually,
Yeah.
I think it's Stella Lee.
yeah.
Or people that pick up Kinnan for the first time.
Oh, I disagree with Kinnan.
People that pick up Kinnan for like their first CEDH.
I just- I get
they're,
that.
they're like, dude, you could tell they have a basalt monolith in their hand. 'Cause it's like
Yeah.
you
I
can
could
feel
see that.
the air coming off of their hand. You know, they're
Yep.
shaking so much. They're like, oh my god, I have the
Yeah.
combo piece.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a local Stella Lee player that he does shake a little bit, but I think that is just
He's
because
not on the deck anymore.
Yeah, he is not on the deck anymore.
Yeah.
But he also is just like very new to the format too.
I don't know that I was commenting about him in particular. Like, I've seen so many Stella Lees, especially when the card was just released. Yeah, like, they're like, oh, I have my like little untapped combo piece, and you know,
yeah.
yeah, it's just funny.
I was thinking about Ral as an option, but I actually like every time I see a Ral
That's
player,
because they snort cocaine right before the game. every time.
they're most of the still little killers though. They're just like, no, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
dude.
storm for 30 minutes, and you're gonna watch.
Yeah, you're gonna watch me jerk it right now, dude.
All right, Welder, our local Josh says, when preparing for a tournament, how do you decide the last few slots in your deck list? Do you keep your deck exactly how it was in playtesting, even if a card has felt dead, or you constantly shift your list?
I constantly shift the deck I play. That's the problem. Realistically, I think it really just depends for me. If you're gonna do some like meta call picks, then I think that's like you can do that, right? Like we saw conclusively most of the farm players play Mayhem Devil, and some of the wrong side pilot play Mayhem Devil because they knew what the meta was going to be. And so I think that like those meta flex slots, those make sense to just because like you know what you're looking for that card to do. But we saw Jason make some big changes to his farm list before Fishbowl because he thought that the meta was going to be a little bit faster. So I mean, he took out Bowmasters and he took out Rift because he's like, I don't know if I'm going to have the extra 1 mana. I'd rather play Floodmaw right now. And so yeah, I mean, I think it really just depends. Like if we're in a pretty stagnant meta, like that mid-range meta that we were in a few months ago, I don't think you need to change much. Like I think you should play whatever you're comfortable on. Yep. But with the meta that's currently happening, that is fluctuating drastically, it seems like every month at this point, I think that you should have a few flex slots that you can move around.
Yeah, I think so too. I think what I would discourage people from doing is adding a new line or something that like dramatically changes your play patterns or your mulligans right before a tournament. Like, I think that's going to be more painful than any potential gain you get out of that choice.
Do you think a lot of people will stumble because of the new cards being released this weekend?
Yeah.
Because they're going to go, well, I want to play the new cards. I want to play Cabbage Merchant. I want to play, like this stuff. Like, do you think they might? I
mean, I've already actively talked about, I'm going to try to mulligan for Cabbage Merchant so I can see, test the limits of the card. And because I really want to see it and how it plays, because a lot of it's just been theoretical and hearsay at this point. But that's like an active decision that I am making, right? I think that when it comes down to like, if people are going to stumble because of some of the new cards, I don't necessarily think that's going to happen just because like we're not getting a new line for anything. We're not getting a new combo piece for anything. We're getting an interaction piece that might be good. We are getting a whole new commander archetype with Toph, and we're getting an insane value engine with Cabbage Merchant, which all these things are very translatable into our current decks. And we're getting the bird, which is like an archivist on roids, right? Yep. And so like, I think that all these things are like additions to known play patterns, archetypes, decks, all these things, but aren't necessarily like, we're not adding a new lands combo into the deck or into the format or deck or anything like that, except for Toph. Yeah. I think like Toph, like people might be punting on that deck for a little bit of time because it seems kind of complicated.
I think that my hot take guess is that deck will top 16 at least one like very large event.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think it's going to take a lot of people absolutely shitting the bed over and over and over again with it because it's hard, I think. But otherwise, yeah. I also like locals are. I'm guilty of this because I take them too seriously. But also, like, who fucking cares? Like, play the best you can, but go try stuff, try weird things, and it's gonna be fine. Like your friends are gonna make fun of you, and then whatever.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll just not cast your mana ball in your hand.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yep.
How do you go exploring and brewing new fringe commanders? More specifically, how do you decide what a deck is missing? I struggle to properly analyze what my decks are missing when brewing. Would love some great advice. Cheers and thank you. You're brewing a deck right now. You're brewing what I would consider
it's fringe.
It's kind of fringe, but like it has like a real strategy. It's not really.
It's like a spin-off.
It's a spin-off.
Yeah, I think that. This is advice I got from you guys, but I think it was Jason who said it specifically. Like, I think brewing can only get you so far, and then you have to actually go play the deck enough to feel how bad certain things feel, and like that's what actually allows you to make decisions. Because like, I think in brewing it's really easy to get caught on pet cards or combos or like play patterns.
Yeah.
And then you actually go play a game. It's like, wow, that's actually like absolute dog water in real life, or like. I have one way out of 100 cards to remove a Drannith right now. Like and then I have no way to win the game if there's a Drannith. Like that's a problem. But that's not something I feel until I see a Drannith hit the board like 3 games in a row. It's like, oh, I'm just dead. Like and you have to adapt for that.
I think a good thing to remind ourselves is that we're playing cEDH in tournaments to win.
Yep.
And while there's like pet cards that we want to make work or whatever, you shouldn't be so focused on making those cards work as to like stop you from the goal of winning.
Yeah.
So if you're not like, let's say you want to make Displacer Kitten work, don't be so focused on like well, I need to tutor for Displacer Kitten, and then it needs to do the thing, and it needs to I can combo off or just like kind of storm off and do that sort of thing, where you're like, okay, and your opponents are staring at you like watching, you're like, well, do you win? And you're like, no, but I like made a lot of mana and I drew some cards.
Yeah.
And like, okay, that's doing that thing, but like you kind of have to turn the corner and win the game. So like, let's remind ourselves that yeah, there's cool things you can do in this format, but when it comes down to it, if you're at a tournament, you're at locals, yeah, it's your time to like learn these things and like play test and whatnot, but you want to win. You're there to win.
Yeah. I'm a brewer at heart. I like to brew a lot of interesting stuff. A lot of it bad, right? I think that when it comes to like how do I identify what decks need, I go back to a conversation with Jason a lot, and he's like, look, this format is all about making mana and drawing cards. And if you like keep that in your mind while you're playing or goldfishing the deck, you will immediately see the problem points when you're playing the deck. And it's like, well, I'm not playing Master of Keys right now is like, I don't think it's possible for the deck to make enough mana that it needs to.
Yep.
I consistently saw that as like the wall that I was running into with the deck. And if that deck, like I keep saying, like if we get one more 2-mana treasure generator, then I'm like, the deck is really good.
Yep.
But it needs mana, right? And we got close with the Tartaru. Does that like you can, if you just keep that sole idea in your like head when you're brewing, then you'll immediately see where your problems are.
Yep.
Unless you're playing like hard stacks, then you're a whole different game plan.
Last one. Do you think there's anything that can be done to fix the seat order issue, such as like forced seat being disproportionately disadvantaged? My proposal would be to give forced seat an extra mulligan. What do you guys think about that?
I think we've talked a lot about fourth seat disparity and like kind of questioned how real it is. I think it's real, but I also think like I treat fourth seat as a free pass to do stuff, and that like I'm gonna have a 10 to 20% better chance that whatever I'm gonna do is gonna get let through.
Yeah.
And like maybe incorrectly, I use fourth seat as an opportunity to like really limit test what I think I can do in that game.
I politic a lot when I'm in fourth seat. I'm constantly just like, hey, I'm fourth seat, dude. If you guys want to counter my stuff, go for it. But like, I'm already losing this game.
Yeah.
Whether you believe that or not.
No. But it's just like constantly something I'm saying when I'm in fourth seat.
But the funny thing is everyone else believes it.
Yeah. Which is like, the stats say that it's true, right? I personally, I've thought about this a lot, and I've talked to these guys about it a lot. I do think the fourth seat problem is a real thing. I don't know what you can do to fix it. I don't think it's something that we should try to fix within the game, right? I don't think that we should be giving someone an extra mulligan. I don't think we should be giving someone an extra treasure.
Or a scry.
Or like realistically, I think that the problems that creates where people being onboarded into our format, or like, oh yeah, hey, we have this like other weird set of rules that like you get an extra thing in fourth seat because that seat sucks. Like that is not something that we want to happen when it comes to like onboarding new players. Mm-hmm. I personally think that the system like the tournament software, the tournament system is where we can experiment. I am kind of mulling around the idea of like maybe a fourth seat or a first seat win is worth 4 points, a second seat win is worth 5 points, a third seat win is 6 points, and a fourth seat win is 7. Because if you look at the statistics of like how hard it is to win in fourth seat versus first seat, it is almost double at this point, right? It's like 13 to 26% or to 25%. So like, I don't think that's like the exact perfect idea, but I would like to see it experimented with. There will be feels bads where someone has 3 wins in first seat and someone else has 2 wins in fourth seat and a draw, and the fourth seat is gonna get through, right? And like that's crazy, right? I don't know, like there are problems with that proposed like idea, but I think that it is interesting to think about and I want to test it.
There's also some weird inklings that like maybe first seat's not the best seat. Like I think second seat might be the strongest.
I'm just looking at stats. And
I understand. Like there's also like where are you looking at stats? Not you, but like where are these stats coming from? If these stats are coming from tournaments and like 60 plus tournaments, that's fine. But we haven't ingested all the stats from like our 3,000 games last month.
Yeah, that's true.
And like who knows what those look like because that might be totally different.
Yeah.
But
I'm just,
we
like,
all
looking at
have
some of
this
the stuff,
preference
like, from
of
Bad Dog, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's like
A tournament.
Invitational and also the Open. And that was some time ago at this point.
Yeah.
The other thing is, us as players, I think, like, yeah, we like first seat, but like sometimes second and third feels like really, really good.
I think I win more from second seat than first seat.
And even like Max P says, like he can't win from third seat. Like he posted his stats. We talked about this in a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
He's like,
true.
my third seat win rate's dog shit.
It's bad, yeah.
And that's over 110 games. That's not like an insignificant amount of games.
Dude, I want to see the league data so bad.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah.
Yep. But I do think that there's something that can be done. Again, I think we've talked previously about like, I would like to see more cards be influenced.
Like gemstone type cards?
Like gemstone. I wouldn't even say gemstone because gemstone is just incredible and
I think
second,
the one was,
third, and fourth seat. Like I want to see cards like Carpet of Flowers. I want more cards like Carpet of Flowers. Sure. Like realistically, I think that I would like to see a card that's like Carpet of Flowers that doesn't target islands. It just targets land type. Like not lands, but like individual land type.
Sure.
Of like, oh hey, like instead of islands, like I'm targeting you because you have 2 mountains or something along those lines.
It could do something like cards in hand,
right? Or like cards in like literally anything. Like I think that it is a mechanic that Wizards has that like hasn't been utilized in 20 years. Like Carpet of Flowers is an old card at this point.
It's from Urza Saga.
And
that's
sorry?
crazy.
It's from Urza Saga, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so like I think that there's a lot of ways that they can introduce cards or mechanics that help this problem more than changing the game or changing the tournament software. But until that happens, I would like to see us experiment with tournament systems before we ever touch the game.
I agree with that. And then I think the natural next question people are going to have is like, well, what do you do about the quote unquote draw meta? Which I don't really care about necessarily, but the
winners are going to win. And the whole point of this game is to find a way to win. If you can't win, then you draw. And that's better than losing. And like that's the end of it. If you don't like drawing, then play a deck that doesn't draw as much.
Come to Jund, brother, just damn.
We did have an interesting conversation in our Discord. I think it was yesterday or earlier today. I'm not sure about like the whole like draw meta and like
there's
realistically
people that are just so convinced that draws are a problem, and I'm not convinced that's the case.
Well, and they're also. So many people are convinced that they're being forced to take a draw when they don't actually need to be forced to take a draw, and they accept it before it's actually necessary.
It's a skill issue.
100%. And like that's kind of what I was trying to say is like if someone's offering a draw, like they're saying that they think this is a king-making situation, and if you can show them information that tells otherwise, then a lot of the time they're going to pull off that draw, right? So it happens It happened this week in a game with me and Eric, and there was a little bit of miscommunication and stuff like that. But David, our local Magda player, was like putting a win together, and someone could stop it. And he's like, "I'm going to offer a draw here," and I was like, "Dude, you're not making a king-making situation here. Like, I don't have a win in hand. I'll show you my hand.
Yep.
Like, stop the win so we can continue playing." And in general, he ended up, I ended up winning that game because I cloned a Heartwood Storyteller, which is very funny. I had a tithe and there was 2 Heartwood Storytellers in play. I was like, yeah.
Funny, dude. Oh, I remember watching that game.
Yeah.
That was, infinite money.
Yeah. I was like, hey, do you guys even want me to track this anymore? And they're like, yeah, you have infinite mana. It's fine. And I was like, okay, cool.
Hey, that's a really good response to Atali. That fixes Atali.
Heartwood Storyteller?
Yeah.
That's actually true.
I know.
Yeah.
That's kind of gross.
I was listening to Casting Costs. They're like,
Yes, I listened to that as well.
and someone was like, oh, you know what's going to replace
No,
Rhystic
this is the
Study?
person that played Heartwood Storyteller in the Invitational.
In the Invitational, yeah.
Yeah, I was
he's like,
there.
He's like, if something's going to replace Rhystic Study, it's going to be Heartwood Storyteller. And I was like, that's a take?
Yep.
I don't know if I agree with it, but
Yeah.
it's kind of sick.
Bro, I'm just like, I'm having bad ideas now.
Like, yeah, I don't know, like, and so yeah, like you just need to be able to, like, going back to the original question of like, if you can prove to the other players that they're not in a king-making situation, then like, also just call their bluff. Like, I don't know, this is something that, and I know that this player is a little divisive, but Temujin like told me straight up, he's like, sometimes when people like try to force draws on me, I just tell someone else to win. Because like he's like, I don't like when people like bully me into a behavior that I don't agree with. And if they're going to protect someone's win so that we can get a draw instead of like stopping the win correctly and like continue play,
Yep.
like he's like, no, just let them win.
I think the situations really come up with like Pact is usually the main piece
Yeah.
where like, okay, but like I can't win, like I'm shutting off the window for myself because I can't pay for this Pact,
Yeah.
etc. Like that's usually when it comes up. But I agree, if you're like pushing for a draw and like you're gonna untap and maybe you don't have a whole lot of cards in hand or anything to do, like that's fine, I guess. But yeah, like I don't know, call or bluff.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree. All 4 players at the table must agree to a draw, right?
Yeah.
If you don't agree for some reason because you think you can get points out of it, great. If you legitimately don't think you can get points, you should take the draw.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then ask yourself why you got put in that position. What did you play, or like
Yeah.
how did you put yourself in that position? Like what didn't you do correctly? Like did I not play the correct deck? Am I not being proactive enough?
Yeah, I do think that like the whole like someone else defending someone else's win to get a draw out of the game is not great for the format. It's not great for the optics of our format.
That I agree with.
But I think like the people forcing draws of being like, I have a pact, I can't pay for it, I'm offering draw, like that makes sense. This is perfectly okay with me. The stopping a win, but you can't stop the next win, offering a draw there, this makes complete sense to me, right? Like, but I do think that like protecting someone else's win just so someone else can't get a turn is,
I mean,
sketchy.
there's some instances where that happens, right? Like if you're like, I have a misstep for this decon, but like literally the next player is going to untap. They have no interaction. They have 20 cards in hand. They have a tithe. Like we're dead.
We're dead. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but like that, what do you do in that situation? You have to.
Yeah, but that's a win, a king making situation, right?
Yeah, but they won't show their hand. You don't know that for sure.
Yeah, but like
Right, but like that's the type of
no.
things that
I
people
think
still don't
okay.
like that.
I
right?
think that in the situation that you just like said is like someone else misstepped, and they're like, I'm gonna misstep your misstep unless you accept a draw. That's what I don't like.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I'm like no. Like I think that's like a very bad thing for the format.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that.
Like, but if you misstep the decon and you're like, hey, I'm offering a draw because we're definitely not getting through that turn, then offer the draw. Like that, 100% I'm good with. Like that is very okay.
It
right?
also like takes a certain amount of, I think, time and seat to recognize when you actually need to draw or not. Like,
Yeah.
Because again, like Logan just said, you don't just because someone proposes a draw and things like look kind of dire doesn't mean it's actually time to accept a draw. There's like tons of way more outs than you might originally expect, and also there's just the like sometimes people fumble the bag and you get a turn anyway.
Also, we've all been in situations where we can 3v1 the table.
Yeah.
And be like, no, motherfuckers, no, I'm gonna drag you to the finish line.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, and you can't get to top 16 by just drawing.
Correct.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Don't use the Invitational as an example. That didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, like for the most part, in regular tournaments, you cannot get to top 16 just by drawing. So like, you still need to express your skill in winning games. So anyway, yeah, it's just interesting. I think we had a good conversation today about all these things, and we had a lot of good topics. Just to review, we have Avatar coming out this weekend, so be prepared for that at your locals.
I legitimately think people are going to get got by Redirect Lightning this weekend.
Maybe.
Like, that is the gotcha spell that's coming out.
Also, like a Redirect Lightning off of Cabbage Man mana.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be hot.
Yeah.
And then, go check out our videos, our appearances, our guest appearances over on cEDH TV and MTG Basics. And we're playing some new decks. We'll let you know how that goes. Playing Tivit and Jund Dargo for some reason.
Indeed.
And the Church of Trog, but I need cards.
Someone find this man another voice.
No one's literally no one is finding Austin cards because no one wants
There's
to play.
reasons, dude. They don't want me to be unlocked, bro.
No, a Rakdos deck should not be a Basalt Monolith. I'm sorry. It's just,
And it's just because it's like, oh, it's 3 mana every other turn.
yeah.
So stupid, dude.
All right, I think that wraps it up for us. Anything else, guys?
No. Have fun this weekend.
Yeah.
This is like the first set that we've gotten a lot of new cards that I think a lot of people are excited for.
Yep.
So I'm excited to hear how people kind of play it out.
Yeah, when I was talking to Spooky about that Ang list, which we meant to mention but didn't, and he's like, yeah, I think this is the single most impactful set since Lord of the Rings or Modern Horizons.
Yeah, I don't think it's close. Yeah, I think that this is like, we're seeing a lot of good cards that we'll see play in a lot of good decks, which I'm stoked on.
Yeah. Have fun, good luck, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
All right, until next time.
Bye.